Perfect. Good morning. All right, it is 2:34 on September 9th, 2025, the first College Senate meeting of the 2025-2026 academic year. I just want to welcome everybody back. I know we saw everyone at Convocation a little over 2 weeks, or a little under 2 weeks ago, which was fabulous. I'm like, what has happened to this thing? I got the agenda up. We have some new members of our cabinet that will be introduced with Dr. Sagai's report, and a few other new senators and some elections today. So we have quite a bit of exciting items that we're going to talk about. We're going to do a little peruse of the College Senate bylaws, just because we have a lot of new people here today. College Senate bylaws are posted on the College Senate site, as well as Robert's Rules of Order. Right, and there's also a cheat sheet on here for Robert's Rules of Order under General Information Documents. There we go. So obviously the bylaws are there again. How to create a motion. If you wanted to bring up a issue at a future meeting, you could download that and send that to the College Senate Executive Committee ahead of the next meeting. As a reminder, anything that we want for new business for future meetings, we like to have that in time for the College Senate Executive meetings, which is 2 weeks before College Senate meets. And those dates are always listed at the bottom of each agenda. So if you have anything that you would like to be on the October agenda, for example, you would need to get it to the Executive Committee by September 30th. All right, so those are there for you. Robert's Rules cheat sheet, Robert's Rules chart of motions, so different motions that senators can make during a meeting, and all sorts of different items are there for you if you are unfamiliar with Robert's Rules of Order. We also have a parliamentarian that is here to assist us with keeping within Robert's Rules of Order. Yay, thank you, Tom Webb. It's like, don't look at me. I'm not here, I'm invisible. He's not invisible. All right. Few other items. Again, our bylaws are posted on the College Senate site, right up in front. And let me see if I can make this larger. there's a plus sign. There we go. So again, if you're unfamiliar with what our goals are, what the rationale of the College Senate is, what our process is, but we are a shared governance body where we have representation from all facets of the college, where we come together to help make academic decisions and possibly create policies and task force and committees to help mitigate any of the issues at the college and to make things better at SUNY Erie for our students, which is, of course, the reason why we come to work every day. We have ex officio members, and those are our cabinet members. So our ex officio members are automatically voting members. So we have titles of anyone who is an ex officio senator listed on the bylaws, and then of course elected faculty senators. I like to point out that obviously attendance is mandatory if you are an elected senator. However, you cannot be at Senate if you are scheduled to teach classes. We had a bylaw change a few years ago to address that. So if any issues come up with your schedule and you cannot make College Senate due to scheduling changes, please reach out to myself or Michael Rio so that we can put an appointment in place for you while your time is in the classroom. We have AAECC voting senator positions, which are come from our non-voting liaison list. There will be a non-voting liaison election today during our governance report. We do have SGA representatives, so we'll be working with Dean Perry on getting our students onboarded so that they can begin attending meetings upcoming in the Senate, upcoming this semester. And then, of course, there's responsibilities and things like that on there. And then, of course, chair responsibilities, so you can keep track of what I'm doing, right? What I'm supposed to be doing besides running the meeting, getting agendas and things like that. We also serve as a member on all college search committees for administrators and presidential search committees, cabinet committees. So I know we have an upcoming liberal arts dean position, so College Senate will be represented on that search committee per the bylaws. We got vice chair duties and then secretary duties, and then all sorts of different things about eligibilities and other duties of your officers up here. So I like to just bring that up and remind everybody of where it is. It's easy to access, to get us all on the right foot for what we're doing at these meetings monthly. So with that, I want to just welcome everybody to College Senate for the fall. I know that there's been a lot of moving parts with offices moving and faculty moving from different campuses. Obviously, we just finished drop add, so we've got a lot of students that have been moving in and out of our classes, and it's been a very busy week and a half or so for the semester, so I appreciate, obviously, everybody coming today and participating in College Senate. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sagai for her President's Report. So just as a reminder, if you want to speak, I know we can all project. I've got 4 boys at home. The whole neighborhood can hear me when I ask people to brush their teeth. But just because you can project doesn't mean the stream can hear you. So if you want to speak, remember there's little buttons. The light is on and green. The stream can hear you. If you're not near a mic, unfortunately, it means we got to make you get out of the seat. Sorry. Thank you, Lisa, for being a good sport.
No problem. Can you hear me now? So first of all, I would like to introduce Dr. Mary Lou D'Allegro, our new Vice President of Academic Affairs. So I think not even 2 weeks yet, right? Just shy of 2 weeks. So, and I think we have any other new members in the room? We have Gabby, who's joined the HR team. We're very happy to have Gabby Colo here on the HR team. And any other new members? We have a total of how many new faculty and adjuncts? We had 6 full-time faculty hires. 5 of those were hired from our adjuncts, so it was really great to see that transition come from our adjuncts. And I think we are at about 46 or 47 adjunct hires for the fall semester. So, sorry? Oh, is it? Oh, Dr. Horn, also her first Senate meeting, but she's been working really hard all summer, so barely new. So, welcome. Anyone else? Great. All right, thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so now as you can see in terms of some of the events that we've been participating on, right, the one that I really want to highlight is the one, obviously the golf tournament that we do at our foundation, and they did wonderful, and thank you for all of you that participated during the golf outing. As you know, we do an awesome job with our SECO. Anybody from Autotech here? Anybody? No? Okay. Autotech, they do an awesome job in making sure that our students are being celebrated at the different sites that we have. And then I had the pleasure of joining our EOP students at the undergraduate summer research seminar. Is Adam here? Adam, can you talk a little bit about what that was, please?
So this summer, can you hear me? All right, there we go. So this summer, SUNY Central offered an opportunity for 17 of our EOP students to participate in a research group where they learned research methodologies through social science and liberal arts. And so one of the things that they did is they spent 6 weeks in an intensive research course put on by Dr. Piver and Dr. de Villiers. And what they did is they each came up with their own research criteria and hypothesis. And by the end of the 6 weeks, they had to present to SUNY system. Chancellor King was not there, but I'm forgetting who else was. A bunch of the vice chancellors, as well as 4 other colleges that participated in this. So it was only 5 colleges in total, and we were the only community college that participated. So it was a very big day, and the students walked away extremely happy and proud of the work that they put in.
Absolutely. They did an awesome job, and I think that is a testimony to some of the things that we do, particularly in our social science. I think sometimes we think research, and I respect that, and we do well in that area in STEM and others. But I think it's equally important to do research in social science. As you all know, I'm a very proud EOP graduate, and so the social science end of it, the research end of it, benefit, and our students did an awesome job doing and presenting their research in a very short period of time. As you also see, another great thing with Autotech, right, they have their open house cruise night, and we have an awesome participation in that as well, and thank you for everyone that participated. Next slide, please. Again, very busy summer, I would say, and a lot of you that were here. We also participated Girls in Tech summer program and partnering with Tech Buffalo, and I know one of our guest speakers was from Tech Buffalo during our opening day, and so we were able to participate with that group and did an awesome program with that as well. We also hosted, some of our faculty and others were here. SUNY hosted the listening session here, SUNY System that is, and we had an excellent participation in that participation from their group as well. Advisement and registration day. As you could see, I think, Eric, how many did we register during those 2 days?
There were hundreds in that 48-hour span that were registered across all three campuses.
So it's the testament that if we're here, our students are coming and the community is coming. And so thank you for all of you that spend the summer in registering our students and getting them ready for the fall. And as you all know, we continuously to celebrate the Northland. This was our first cohort. As you know, we have 3 programs at Northland right now: Mechatronic, Auto Tech, and HVAC. The HVAC this semester is a new one for our HVAC, but this is the Auto Tech first cohort that graduated with our Mechatronics. So again, congratulations to our students, but congratulations to our almost awesome teachers that are teaching and staff at Northland. So thank you for that. Dana, are you here? Dana, can you talk about those events for me, please?
Sure. On your left is and forgive my pronunciation, I did not do well in French class, Jeune Chef Rôtissier competition. So this is a global organization of professional chefs and people who partake in wine. And so it was an event that there was representatives from all over North America. The finals were student chefs, and so I believe it was 24 and under in the age, and so we had age ranges between 18 and 24. The Northeast chef from Boston did win, but it was really great to see some of the chefs from each quadrant of the United States, and then also to meet the international contingency that was there.
And we also, what was the funding?
Oh, and then they provided, I believe it was $10,000 in scholarship funds.
It's awesome. Again, to the point that our students are very busy and active, as well as our facilities. So this is one of the things that we hosted in our clean room, and having the semiconductor course being hosted in our facility. You can see our sport team have been also very active in doing some CPR training, as well as our EOP summer session that we do every year. So our new student orientation, Amy Yoder, you want to talk about that, please?
Sure, I'm happy to, and I want to first and foremost thank the faculty and staff that helped and supported this. It really is a community effort to get this rolling. We had over 400 students that participated in our new student welcome. Additionally, we had almost 1,000 students participate in our online orientation too. So it was very beneficial. We had 2 sessions at North, one at City, and one at our new South. I think we were the first event at our new South location. So it was very exciting.
Thank you. And then the new location. So how many of you were able to participate in the grand opening? So what do you think? Anybody?
I like the building.
Like the building? What else? What else do we like? Now, remember, I just want to remind us, right, a couple of years ago, there was a question whether we were going to be at the Southtown location, right? This was not even a thought, and we as a group came to understand that we need to have a presence in the Southtown, right? And so this came to be. And this came to be in less than a year, almost a year to be exact, in August, right? With everything that we need. The first thing was to making sure that it is focused, student focused first, and instruction, and everything else we're working around it. There's an understanding that we need to have additional space, right? We do have an opportunity to build out. There is an additional space that we're working on, and hopefully we get that done soon to ensure that our students get an even larger space. But any other thoughts, Tahira, maybe? What do you think? I didn't know you were so far away from.
Please excuse my voice. I was hollering I was at the Bills game, and so.
That's all right, but they won, right?
They won. Oh yes, they won.
You guys know our students won the game too, because we had a football game too. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yes. Specifically, what I can say is, I went back to the old campus to grab some new things, and then I came to the new campus one day, completely different feel. The new campus is vibrant. It's beautiful. It's new. Still a work in progress. Some things, we're going to improve upon. But I think it's important that we all keep a positive attitude about it. Our students absolutely love it. I can say that when they come into the library, they're looking for the books. I'm not going to lie, but but they are excited about the new space and the new possibilities, and they can feel the difference in the new technology and just how the campus is more connected versus previously. So thank you.
Thank you. Amber, what do you think? Because you have one of the largest classroom, Amber.
That's true, and the students do really love the space.
Yes,
I think for my kids, the biggest thing is there's finally a sense of permanence, is not knowing where we were going to be hurt pretty bad for a while, and now they actually feel like they have a home base, and I think that's really important for them.
Absolutely. And thank you for all of you, right, who put that effort and make sure that we advocate. Yes?
My students are really impressed by it. They especially love the little nooks where they can work, so it gives them like a quiet, safe space just in case there's a lot of stuff going on at home that they can study in. So they really like that, just like they do in the STEM building.
Right.
Appreciate that.
And that is part of what we did, right? We thought about what the students want and what makes sense, not only for current students, but also future students. I do want to note, right, we do have some opportunity, and we are doing some work at North to make sure that there is the same type of feel and experience for our students. The same thing at City. So we are work in progress. All of our location is under construction. And so I think it's always important to make sure that we note that to our students, because there's differences, right? If you are at the new location versus at North or City, right? There is or the auto tech, right? There is a difference in terms of that feel, but do assure our students that our focus, and certainly my commitment and focus, is to make sure that we invest in spaces at this location as well as at City and at the auto tech. And with that, our opening day, Lisa?
I want to thank everyone that came out for opening day and really participated in a positive and engaged way. We had over 300 people in and out in the various sessions. The AI panel in the morning, we had great engagement and support with Colleen and Joe Lundeen being a part of leading that conversation, and then a number of breakouts in the afternoon. I think there was some fun had on the lunch quad, and of course recognizing our Chancellor Award winners, which was really exciting to be able to really acknowledge and recognize those contributions. I also want to recognize all of the people that participated and contributed to making the day such a success. Tara Kay really in HR was a driving force behind all of the details and really coordinating and really making sure it came off seamlessly. But we had faculty and folks across the campus and our logistics and facilities that really made it a meaningful day for all of us. So we are looking at the feedback. We appreciate the feedback, both the positive as well as any feedback that will allow us to continue to improve. And we've already started to have conversations about January. So that is up and running, and we're looking at things for that. And Tara's telling me January 14th, mark your calendar. It's already in motion. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, fabulous. Thank you very much. There are a few things I forgot to mention. So there's some flyers at either side of the room, but I will also be pushing this out in my email that goes out later this week. But there is some Erie Connects activities for our students upcoming in October. There's going to be smoothies and giveaways and therapy dogs. So I'm going to be marking Wednesday, October 15th at City Campus. Oh, and December 3rd on my calendar, because that's when I'll be at City. But they are at either side of the room. Flyers will be getting sent out, so please look for that. Feel free to take one, hang it up in your classroom, hang it up in your office space. This is a great opportunity to support our students. Speaking of supporting our students, I want to point out, I don't see any of our marketing folks here right now, but Dana.
I'm the sole representative.
All right, still represented. Well, your marketing people are killing it on social media. So if you don't already follow SUNY Erie on Instagram, they have had all sorts of great things. They did a countdown for the first day of school. They did this adorable thing. Oh, it's not going to let me do it because I can't remember my password, so I couldn't log in. But they did this where the students held up, their first day of school sign, just like you see a lot of people with their elementary kids doing it on social media. They did it for ours. It was adorable. They have a great story about actually some of our communication arts students that were working on movies and things over the summer. And then it's not there right now, but there are stories that are followed that come up at the top of the Instagram, and they had activities listed for each campus that are happening this week for welcoming activities for students, which is fantastic because as a faculty member, a lot of times I don't see where these are, or maybe they're posted, maybe they're not, but they're right here on here. So if you want to know what's happening with the school, with things that are support for your students, I highly recommend following our Instagram page because it's got a ton of awesome information there for you. All right, so with that, I'm going to go back to the agenda, and we are going to turn it over to Michael Rio for the Governance Committee. But really quickly, sorry, I remember one more thing. If you have not signed in yet as attendants, please do so. We are going to be doing votes. So we need to have an accurate attendance list for voting senators. So if you have not had a chance to say you're physically in the room, right? Because it doesn't count if you're watching remotely. You're not physically in the room, so therefore you're not attending. But please sign in to the Mary's email to show that you are here today. All right, Michael.
Thank you. So governance is wrapping up some of the election cycle from last spring. We have some vacant seats that we'd like to fill with one-year at-large appointments that needs approval that we'd like to do first. The names are on the screen: Jeremy, Alyssa, and Stephanie for faculty appointments.
Okay, so Michael, are you making a motion
I'm making
to
a motion
approve?
to, yeah.
All right, I need a second to approve the motion for the one-year appointments. Ashley, thank you. Is there any discussion on the vote? Any questions? All right, we are going to approve these one-year appointments by consent. Thank you to Jeremy, Alyssa, and Stephanie for stepping back into College Senate. I know that schedules were a problem in the past, so welcome back. We're happy to have you. Thank you. All right, back to you, Michael.
Thanks. Yeah, so there are two elections today that will be conducted through electronic ballot. The first is for representatives, voting representatives from the non-voting liaison group. And we have a ballot that's going to go out first. And then when we have those election results at the end of the meeting, we will take nominations and have the election for executive council seat. Anyone that's been appointed or nominated, or well, appointed or elected into a voting position today will be eligible to nominate for the executive committee seat. So procedurally, I think really what I need to do is make a call for nominations for voting liaison. An email went out earlier today. If you are a non-voting liaison, you received an email that includes a list of eligible candidates, which it's a seat that's structured to provide AAECC representation, voting representation in the Senate. So if you're a non-voting liaison, you may be AAECC or not. You can make a nomination, but the person you nominate must be an AAECC member. That's indicated in the email. And I'm just trying to get a sense of who's here and who's not here from that group. The nominations, we received 3 already. Juan Martinez, Dan Frontera, and Pat Ryan. Additional nominations from that group for voting liaison, you can just raise your hand and shout them out or do a parliamentarian thing where you're just loud. All right, in the absence of additional nominations, I'll send that ballot out and get back to you with a second election at the end of things. I think governance is good. That's our full agenda, I think.
All right, perfect. So again, that's kind of why we reviewed a little bit of the College Senate bylaws with what non-voting liaisons are. College Senate is representative of all constituencies within the college. And one of the ways that we are able to hear from our AAECC members is through the non-voting liaisons that get to have some voting positions. So that's the election that we are doing first. So Michael will be compiling that ballot. We'll email it out during the meeting to those that are eligible to vote for those positions. And then once that is finalized, we'll announce that those election results before we move to replace the one appointment on the College Senate Executive Committee. So that is a vote we're going to push back right now towards the end of the agenda so that we have full representation available for that one elected position. Is everyone good? All right, because I know it was kind of a lot. All right. Academic standards, I'm going to appoint to my co-chair, Amy Yoder.
Again, academic standards have not met yet. However, they will be meeting tomorrow to review bylaws, committee support, and review some of the policies that we have been working on and give an update to the committee of where they're at.
Perfect. So that meeting is tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's virtual. We'll be looking at membership, because something, again, we'll see a little bit later in the agenda is membership to academic standards, as well as our assessment committee, college-wide curriculum committees. They are all general education committee. They're all, membership is approved by a vote of the College Senate, right? Because these are all committees of the College Senate. So we'll be reviewing membership to that committee tomorrow, and also making sure all constituent groups within the bylaws are represented. And then we'll come back in October with more information. Dr. Erickson Nealon, Strategic Enrollment Management.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and I wish everyone a great start to the fall semester, especially with the conclusion of Ad Drop yesterday. For those that were also at opening day, I strategically sat next to James so that hopefully we can make it even more confusing as to which one of us you're talking with. So if I'm not here, James is always available to be present in my absence. So I want to talk a few things about enrollment. I know we're not in the 24-25 academic year, but I did want to let this team know, this community know, that those final numbers will be vetted soon by SUNY. We do have, based on our preliminary local data, that we are seeing an increase overall in enrollment in the 24-25 academic year compared to the prior academic year, 23-24. That is a significant accomplishment, I think, for the institution, a milestone to see that relative improvement of enrollment. And again, those final numbers will be coming out shortly. For the fall 2025 semester, I just want to talk a little bit about the entire student life cycle. We had almost 11,000 applications for the fall 2025 semester, which is a significant increase compared to what we had seen in prior years. So a huge shout out and just sincere appreciation to the entire admissions team, our processing team that has to look at each one of those applications. That's a significant undertaking, and please, I encourage the entire college community, thank the admissions team for the hard work that they did in getting those students into our institution at this time. Those, again, final numbers will be coming shortly, but we are seeing a significant increase in both headcount and credit hours at this time for fall 2025 compared to where we were at this point last year. So huge, again, just tremendous effort. Huge kudos to the faculty I know worked tirelessly. I want to give a special shout out to, I know Jackie Diapol did a tremendous amount of work for the Health and Wellness Promotion Program, Linda Donaldson and everyone in Information Technology, our General Studies team, just everything that was related to SUNY Reconnect, which I'll talk about here as well. Before I get to the SUNY Reconnect, just some quick requests for the college community related to financial aid. One is that to help students both with Reconnect and our traditional students, if you can help those students verify that they have entered in the proper school code for their FAFSA, it's 010684. We talked about that also on opening day. That would help out tremendously with students getting access to those federal and state funds. The lockup for federal aid or financial aid will occur on October 4th. This is important then for students who are looking to register for those 7.5-week classes. So if you have any students who are looking to do so, I encourage to do so before the lockup occurs. Again, that's on October 4th. And then lastly, just about SUNY Reconnect, we have seen a significant amount of interest in that program. This is the one that the state announced with the state budget for students that are between the ages of 25 and 55 with no prior degree that are in those eligible degree programs, health sciences, engineering, technology, and teaching. It's tremendous to see that if we look back at the SEM plan, and it's remarkable to think, this is 3-4 years ago when we had this released to the college community. It directly aligns with the strategic plan goal number 1 of looking at how it is that we are able to support our adult learner population here within Erie County. And the SUNY Reconnect program is tremendous in being able to help us attain that. I also want to give a shout out again to the academic team, the faculty. We also saw that increase in retention and the amount of work that was done last spring. That's also an important part of our SEM plan. So it's, I think, great to have that SEM plan, but it's even better to see that the SEM plan is being lived with all the actions that are being taken at the institution. So overall enrollment, it's exciting to see these numbers, and I think now the focus is on keeping those students in our classes, continue to engage with them, and any support that we can provide for them to keep them here.
Just to add to that, right, when is Never a 10 over? When is that? What's the date for Never a 10? 3 weeks roster, right?
Did we receive an email about that
Well,
yet?
you didn't, but what is typically, when do we have the Never a 10?
3-week rosters.
3-week roster, right? So the point here is that, right, we have done awesome, but the key, it's not over until all of the students sit all the way that 3 weeks, right? So the 3-week roster is when we're going to determine if we met our goal. So we're right there. So we need to make sure we communicate to every student that is on our roster to make sure that they sit and engage with us. If, in fact, life does happen, students need to exit out, then we need to send them back and make sure that they talk to the right people and making sure that they exit out. Because what happens quite often, and Amy could talk about this, is that we do get administrative drop because they come back and said, I wasn't there, and so forth. Say they come back and say that they want to be administrative drop. So to avoid that, the key is for us to continue to communicate the ones who have not attended yet, but also the ones who have attended in our courses. So if we could do that, thank you.
All right, perfect, thank you. And just to follow up with that, we did get an email from IRAP reminding us about Never Attends. It does say that it's next week. There's not a specific date right there. Do we have a specific date, Adam? Thank you.
Yes. The date is end of, I believe it's 4 p.m. on Friday the 19th. And then it is due for, right, so that's the last date of attendance. And then it will be the 21st is the last date that we can input. Correct, Pat? Okay.
Beautiful. Amy Yoder? Ooh, wow.
Ooh, I got your attention now, right? I do want to make a note just from academic standards, because we did spend a lot of time doing work on defining what Never Attend means and constitutes that. So worked with the registrar's office to make sure that that's in the email. So I know it's come up. I had a couple people stop by my office today and asked when that was going out, when they can figure out what does Never Attend truly mean, particularly in an online course. So that should be included in the email that you receive.
Perfect. So keep your eyes peeled for an email from the registrar's office with more specific details regarding the 3-week roster, Never Attends, and again, with what constitutes attending versus not attending in an online class. Sabrina.
So is there a particular reason why we just found this date out now? Don't we know in advance? Because I have contacted my online students, but it's kind of difficult to make them feel the urgency if I don't have a deadline that they need to participate by this time or they're going to be dropped.
I don't have that answer. That's above my pay grade. Dr. Sagai?
Absolutely. So we will work on that. to make sure that everyone has that information. But I think it's also, with that messaging has to be also encouraging for those students to stay. So sometimes that could be read, okay, I got to leave now, but we will communicate that. So we'll work with IRAB and get that information, and the registrar's office and academic to get that information.
Great, thank you. Aaron?
And to that point with some of the messaging here, if I could just get something cleared up. Are we allowed to drop students before week 3 for never attend if we say during this drop add period, this is what is due? There are other people attempting to get into this class, and if you are not going to do the work, you are able to drop them from the course. I've received mixed messaging on that, and also trying to help students get into a class who are chomping at the bit to do that versus students who have not logged on even to take a look at what is to be done. I'm curious what the messaging is. Do we have to wait until 3rd week, in which case we can't do anything to help the students, or are we allowed to do that? I'll close my mouth.
No, it's a good question, and I totally understand your point. There's a lot of times, especially this semester, where students have come up to me and they're trying to get into my class, but the roster is full, right? And if it says it's closed on workday, it's closed on workday. There's really not a lot we can do about it. As far as SUNY Erie policy, it is the 3-week roster point. We cannot drop students ahead of the 3-week point. We can contact students that are not attending and say, hey, I'm your English professor in this class. I've noticed you haven't been here. Let me help you figure out what's going on. Like maybe they want to drop, but they don't know how to drop. So you could guide them as their instructor on how to drop. Or even on the flip side, maybe they missed a couple classes and now they are starting to panic and cycle, and like now it's too late, and then they kind of fall into that trap of they don't know what to do, so they stop coming, and then we drop them the 3 weeks. So reaching out to those students during that 3-week window, I feel like is the best thing that we can do, especially if you have a student that's waiting for a spot to open up. Like I would say it's on us. We can contact our students. They're our students. Say, hey, how can I help you? How can I support you? And if the support means walking them through how to drop a class, then that's what we support them through. Ashley?
I've had some concerns from students and faculty about this issue. The last day to add it and drop was yesterday. So if someone drops, and there's several people trying to get in, someone drops at 11:59. Great, now I can't get in, and I'm waiting to get in. So I would like to propose if ECC can consider adding the last day to add would be the next day. Do you see that?
So let's be clear, right? Drop and add is over.
Yes.
So the 3-week roster, it's totally different. So we cannot, as a college, add. This is all part of financial aid regulation, right? And in terms of how we do that 11:55 that we're talking about, that's not something we could change either, right? In terms of what we determine our drop and add. So whatever we have on our catalog, that's what we have. That's a contract between us and the student. So we can't just change that, right? But what I think we need to do is a lot of the things that Colleen mentioned is this, right? I think, and we have demonstrated this, by doing advisement with our continued students early enough and getting those students registered, allowing us to add more section based up on that, right? And we got, in a good way, we had a lot of new students coming in and wanting to register, and continued students too. So I think really our advisement model that we all are going to work on more is going to help to determine some of that and be able to open perhaps more section depending on how many students register early enough. So that's the way we need to do it. But it's a lot of things that Colleen is talking about. It's educating our students, understanding the process so that there's an opportunity for other students. But remember, drop and add is over. So the 3-week roster, even though students don't show up, you can't add new students to that. Okay. Just so that we're all clear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
I think this goes back to Eric. The reconnect Reconnect program. So I have some students that believe that they registered for that, and then they went to check something and it's showing they're not, and they're panicking because they want to make sure that, you know, they get the benefits of it. Do I direct them to financial aid, register? Where do they go?
Yeah, it's a great question. A little bit about Reconnect, and we're still in the process of analyzing the data from them, but some of the early indications are there are a lot of students who are eligible for the program in terms of their age, their program of study, but then there's the evaluating them for the eligibility for the SUNY Reconnect Award itself, which is considered to be a last dollar scholarship. Those who are familiar maybe with Say Yes are kind of familiar with this process where all federal and state aid has to be used first, and then anything not covered by those is then where SUNY Reconnect comes in for those eligible students. So we manually evaluate each student based on that eligibility. They have to have applied for New York State TAP. That has to have come in. If there's any students who have questions, what's on the website is the enrollment management at ecc.edu. That's going to be the primary mechanism, and then I monitor that each day and go through each student accounts. So if you or any student have questions on those, send it over to enrollment management at ecc.edu, and we'll help them out.
One other question. For not attending for half semester classes, is there a different deadline for that? Is it just because by 3 weeks, then we're halfway through the semester in essence for them? So, and I teach a half semester, and I've been like I've got 3 that have done nothing, not signed on, hounding them, but technically they have until.
That's a great question. Andy isn't here, so I can't
respond to it.
Respond to that exactly. I know for the second 7.5 week part of the semester, there is a specific date, and it's not 3 weeks, it's shortened.
Yeah.
And same thing with summer. Obviously, there's a shortened NA date timeline. I don't know about it for the beginning 7.5 week of each semester. So that would be a registrar's question. But I think right at this point, it is the same. But that is something that we can add to our academic standards agenda for tomorrow. Because we were working on language and things like that with NAs, and we do work with the registrar's office with some of these items. So that's something that we can talk about and work with the registrar's office and see if there's something that can be worked out. So fabulous. And also, again, please contact those students that aren't coming, right? The easiest way to retain our students is to communicate with our students. And that's, you know, the teachers of the classes, you're the boots on the ground. You're the ones that are going to get to them the easiest. So make those phone calls. Eric?
Sorry, and I apologize. I should have added with SUNY Reconnect as well. Students that are eligible for it, we are able then to continue to work with them throughout the semester to have them meet the packaging requirements to do their TAP, and then package them throughout the semester itself as well. So don't think that at this point everything is done. We'll continue to work on those accounts.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions regarding enrollment, 3-week rosters, other items? All right, we're going to keep moving on the agenda, and I'm going to move to the Teagle Grant. Dr. Sabrina Kane.
Okay, so hopefully, as you've heard by now, we did receive the Teagle Grant, and so we're currently in the process of revamping the EN 100 classes. We have a number of pilot EN 100 classes running this semester at all the campuses and online. And by the spring, we hope to have the complete package rolled through CWCC and to have all of the English 100 classes be in our Essential Questions program. Now, to kind of lay any worries to rest, this is not like the big overhaul we had of the composition sequence, that the content that we're changing right now in EN 100 should not really impact anybody else unless you choose to be in the general education sequence classes that link to this Teagle grant. But as far as everybody else is concerned, we're still delivering the same learning outcomes, and it's not going to affect your program. But we will have opportunities for you to learn more about what these changes are. And then if anybody here is interested or knows of anyone who might be interested, in the spring we'll be piloting some of the LinkedIn general education courses, and we'll have a full rollout of general education courses that are linked to the Essential Questions program next year. Remember, our ultimate goal with this is to develop a general education sequence which makes sense to the students instead of appearing to be just picking from courses off a cafeteria menu, that they get some kind of unified content and that engages the students in addressing some of the questions that have been foremost in human discourse since really the dawn of history. I'm happy to talk to anybody about it who's interested, and we're going to have a bunch of exciting professional development opportunities coming up over the course of the academic year, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kane. Does anyone have any questions regarding the Teagle grant and all the cool, exciting things it's going to bring to our classrooms? I did submit a math textbook for reading, just so you know, to the Teagle grant. It's not actually a textbook, it's a book, but just more excitement for you with math. Faculty Council of Community Colleges. Michael Rio is our delegate. There was some upcoming work that we might have some updates on, possibly some summer updates.
Yeah, there's a couple documents for information on web accessibility, a memorandum from SUNY, and a statement from a July 4th statement on the state of education in New York State and challenges that we're facing with changes in the federal financial aid model and accessibility and diversity. So those are there for your read and comment. And I don't have updates. There's a plenary in October, no agenda yet. I was hoping to have it by today, but I really don't have any details yet. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So yeah, the documents, as you can see, are posted underneath the agenda on the College Senate site for this month. So those are there. All right, and then we're going to move back to Sabrina for the College Senate Assessment Committee.
Okay, so I just have a motion to make because we need to replace a committee member. And we had our person from BPS, Business Public Service, left the committee, and so we would like to, in that slot, nominate Heidi Knight. Heidi has been on the committee in an unofficial capacity. She was on the committee before we did this with the Senate, and because we had two people on there from BPS, she said she wouldn't run for the official position, but she's still there. So she's been doing this for a while, and we have a lot of confidence in her, so we just want to put her name now to be the official representative to the Senate.
Great, thank you. Can I have a second for the motion? Jeremy, thank you. Okay, so is there any questions or comments regarding the appointment of Heidi Knight to the Assessment Committee to represent Business Public Services? Okay, with no comments, I'm going to accept this by consent, and congratulations to Heidi Knight for being officially a member of the committee, even though she's been working on the committee all along. And thank you to Heidi and the Assessment Committee for all of your hard work at the college. All right, so facilities report. Eric, or James, which one?
C. All right, so I'll start off with City Campus. The Post building, as you all are aware, has been reopened. Construction work is still continuing, and we are hopeful to have that work completed in the month of November. Realistically, that the poly installation tarp will most likely remain up until the summer of next year, but we'll see. We're working with the county now to identify the best path forward. With South Campus, the launch of 50 Cobham has gone relatively well, I would say. I know that there's still some bumps in the road and some hiccups. We essentially have 3 of the maintenance crew out there at all times, constantly in connection with the developer to make any, on-the-spot adjustments. So we're trying to stay nimble there. Moving on to North Campus, B building. Right now we're kind of just in the final punch list phase, so they're just going through finalizing some odds and ends throughout B building. K building. So K building, we have the hallway work has been completed. We're finishing up entryway work. The ceiling tiles in the 100 wing are going to be finalized. There are a few classrooms that we're working with now. I think there's just 2 rooms that we're working with faculty on to really try to make it meet their needs. But everything else from a academic standpoint for this calendar year for K building is set and moving forward. Any complaints, I know people will reach out to me. So, we'll try to assist where we can and make that transition as seamless as possible. S building, we did work in the cafeteria this year. That has been turned over. It looks good, and we'll be making sure that the heat works here in the coming weeks. Bell Center, I know my man Juan got on me this morning. So right now we have a little dance every once in a while with our contractors who, we appreciate and we love them, but sometimes they take some initiative without communicating with us. And so it's important that, if you all become aware of an issue, I promise you it doesn't bother me, right? We just need to address it. And, Jimmy is certainly not afraid to drop the hammer down on folks. So that's what we did today, and we got that room put back together for that teacher. I think it was put back together within like the hour. So please just let us know as we kind of continue. The field project, a stop work order was issued after the prime contractor hit the main power line for the campus, which caused a power outage. I think we're probably 98% back up and running. I think there's still some swipe access in the 700 block of B building that needs to be addressed, but we're basically back online with that. The contractor had to issue a safety plan to the county, which then had to be approved before they were able to resume work. That was completed yesterday, or 2 days ago rather, and they were able to come back on site starting on Monday. So that project is moving forward. Our goal is to have the turf laid before snow falls, and they'll do all the other miscellaneous, the bleachers and whatnot, as they can, weather permitting. But the big goal for us would be to get the turf laid before the winter. I think I covered everything. I'll stop
good.
there.
That's good. Thank you. I want to thank James for his transparency and ability to pass out his phone number to anyone and say, just text me anytime, because he is not lying when he says, text me if there is a problem and I will take care of it. He and I have gone back and forth several times with different faculty concerns, and they've been dealt with immediately. He met us with Communication Arts and our IT program at South Campus to go through their spaces at the Old South Campus to make sure what was at the Old South went to the New South in the manner in which our faculty needed them to get there. And they were there like within a couple of days, the next day. So, our SCS members, our cabinet members are listening. They are helping, and, complaining about something isn't going to fix it. You need to contact the people that can help fix it, right? So He's very responsive on emails. I have his phone number, so most of you have mine. Whatever. But we are a team, and we have to work together as a team to make sure that the college is functioning well for our students. With that team analogy, I also want to thank the Student Affairs and Dr. Dana Horn. There have been some growing pains with transportation with the new South Campus at Cobham. We're all aware of it, and I was super excited and impressed that not only are we aware of it, but an email went out to all South Campus faculty addressing the issue head on with QR codes and surveys for our students so that they can respond to what their experiences have been the first week or so of college and what they need moving forward, right? That is huge, hugely transparent, and I hate to say, shocking. I haven't seen it prior to this administration, so thank you very much. Dr. Horn?
Thank you, and thank you to all the faculty who actually have put that up in their classes. The email blast also did go out to students yesterday, directly to those who were enrolled in at least one. As of this morning at 8 o'clock, we had over 108 completed surveys, which is huge. And so we should have a good data point by, I would say, Wednesday for us to then start talking with the bus shuttle company to see how we can address that. Right now, the biggest component to it that we've learned from the 108 responses is we have a large percentage who is taking the NFTA, and so that's our biggest kind of hang up. But that data that gives me, so for example, out of the 108 there, I think there was 23 that specifically rely on NFTA to get to their classes, and so now I can take that to the shuttle company saying, it's worth us to have another stop with our shuttle. Can we align it with the NFTA schedule as well? So thank you to the faculty. Please encourage your students to do it. We will be responding with action.
Thank you so much. And to the South Campus faculty that have had their students fill it out, that's fantastic. If you haven't had an opportunity yet to ask your students to fill it out, I know there's 1,000 things we are all trying to do the first couple weeks of school, right? I'm not going to take that away from anything, and this is just one more thing. However, it is an issue that directly impacts a large majority of our students. If you could take just a couple minutes at the beginning of your class, especially if you're in a computer lab, or even just if you have, they all have projectors, put the projector up with the QR code. Every kid's got a phone, they got a smartphone, they can fill it out right then and there. Because again, we can't fix problems if we don't have the information, right? So you can't complain about something if you're not going to be part of the process to fix it. And again, thank you to Student Affairs for taking that head on. It was really much appreciated. Moving on from old business, we're going to move to new business. And I'm going to call on our vice chair to talk about it. Actually, I think you got to talk twice.
Do you want me to do them back?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So yes, our first FCOTS Faculty Caucus of the Senate meeting is going to be next Tuesday, the 16th, 2:30 to 3:30. That is remote, so the link for that will be going out Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, somewhere in there. Now you'll notice on the, I was going to look at the agenda. On the agenda, we don't have the actual dates put in there yet. Traditionally, they are the Tuesday following every Senate meeting. We can discuss that, though, at this upcoming one if we want to keep that exact schedule or what we feel as a body makes a little bit more sense. So then, yeah, we'll skip to the next one. So it is Chancellor's Award time again. So first of all, congratulations to the Chancellor's Award winners from the previous round. I know Colleen and Tahir, I think you're the only two in the room. Oh, from Sabrina, yeah, looked right at you. From this previous one, so congratulations. And also huge, huge shout out to Tara and Lisa for putting together the best ceremony we've had in years. And little peek behind the curtain, you guys were doing that at the last possible second. We had a very accelerated timeline, and I think we were sending emails back and forth up until that morning, and it went off seamlessly, and it was really, really great, so I know it was very much appreciated. So the SUNY Chancellor's Award is meant to recognize those who exhibit consistently superior achievement in 6 different fields. So we do have the actual documentation, if anybody wants to go through this in great detail, that we'll upload to the Senate site for you, but they are in the fields of librarianship, excellence in professional service and faculty service, scholarship and creative activities, which we have not had a winner in this category, and I'm not sure who last did. So if you know anybody who publishes a lot or creates a lot of creative work, that might be somebody to consider for this award. Excellence in teaching, and there's 2 slides for that one, and then excellence in adjunct teaching. So do start thinking about your nominations now for this, because our deadline for submission is going to be Wednesday, January 14th, which is going to be opening day, which we picked that on purpose, so hopefully it's a day you can remember for that. Now, just to be clear with this is not a quick process, so think about how you tell your students to do an assignment. Do not start thinking about your nominations a couple of days beforehand. This is a process. There's a lot of material that you need to gather for it. So start thinking about who you might want to nominate and reach out now so we can start gathering the packets of information for it. Along with the actual documentation from SUNY, which we'll upload, just to point it out to you, it does say on the bottom that it's due on Tuesday, February 17th. That is to SUNY. That is not going to be to us because there's an entire process that happens to happen at the ECC level before it gets to SUNY. So just make sure you know, if you're interested in nominating, that's going to be Wednesday, January 14th. Also, in previous years, the adjunct award was due at a different time. It used to be due in November. SUNY changed it this year, so that is going to be due at the same time. So we have a little bit more time for adjuncts than we've had in the past, because I know past years we're scrambling real quick at this first meeting to be like, get it in, because we need that nomination packet like next month. So we have a little bit more time this time. So for right now, you can just send any nominations to me, so reinhardta@ecc.edu. There will be a couple of changes in the process that is coming, but we'll make sure we keep everybody informed about what's going on with that.
Any questions regarding Faculty Caucus of the Senate or the Chancellor's Awards? So also we have on there Emeritus Awards, and that is actually something that our awards committee will be meeting with Tara and Lisa about, with other ways to celebrate our faculty and staff. Emeritus is for retirees, right? So there is a timeline with that as well. It's within, is it a year or 2 years within retirement. We didn't have any emeritus nominees this summer, but that doesn't mean that we can't have any moving forward. So we will have a little bit more information about potential emeritus award nominees as well. Opening day, we kind of talked about it already, so I won't belabor the point. There was some QR codes that were on the back of the programs, and we also got an email about it, and I think I also pushed it out to the Faculty Caucus of the Senate listserv. They are listening. I think one of the things that we have established today at College Senate is our cabinet members, our SES members are listening to us, right? We need to provide them with the information we want in order for things to happen, right? So everybody was super excited about the AI panel, the AI workshops in the afternoon. If you want to see more AI, you need to fill that out, right? Because we can't just make decisions willy-nilly without data points, right? If we have a influx of people that say this is what we want, then we can create staff development days around the topics that you choose. If you choose to not participate in those surveys, then I guess we're not going to have a day with materials that you're interested in, right? You are driving the bus. Put it in gear. One other thing I forgot, I took it out of order. But its agenda is here. We got an email from the foundation. The SUNY Erie Lounge is upcoming. It's the 3rd annual. It's on November 7th. It's at the Powerhouse in Buffalo. You can purchase tickets. There's early bird specials. There's a jazz gala. Some of our ECC faculty members perform in the jazz gala. James Ranfola. Our culinary program is the star with some of the different stations with food and treats, and it is outstanding. So it's a great event. Think about attending. it's a lot of fun. Oh, there he is. So there we got some pictures are on there that came from the email that came out earlier this month, but it is a great opportunity to participate in fundraising that helps our students with scholarships. We're going to hold off on for the good of the order right now, and I'm going to check in with the election. Michael Rio.
Okay, we have election results for the voting liaison. Dan Frontera and Juan Martinez will be the voting liaison representatives. At this time, we can move forward with the election for executive committee, if everybody's ready for that.
College Senate exec?
Yeah. All right, so it's call for nominations. One nomination has been received. Amy Yoder has been nominated for executive committee for the Senate. Other nominations will be accepted at this time from the floor. I guess raise your hand or shout. In the absence of other nominations, congratulations, Amy Yoder. I think we need to cast a ballot and make it official.
I believe the secretary casts a ballot.
We'll save that ballot for next time around.
So I cast one vote for Amy Yoder for Senate exec.
All right. Congratulations, Amy. Welcome to the team. It'll be nice to have another AAECC member serve on the College Senate Executive Committee. The last time we had AAECC representation was from Paul Lamanna, who, if people are like, who's that, right? So he was in charge of the registrar's office. He's also hugely involved with the foundation now. So you'll see Paul around at foundation events. He was at the opening of Cobham. So he's still around because he is a huge supporter of Erie Community College, but we haven't had AAECC representation on College Senate Executive in, I don't know, since pre-COVID. So it'll be more shared governance, college-wide representation at the College Senate level. Is there any other new business that I am not aware of? Okay, so with that, and for those that are new, we close the public portion of the meeting before we move to our For the Good of the Order Town Hall. So For the Good of the Order Town Hall is open for anyone at the college, and we can ask questions, we can discuss things that we need answers for, etc. The next College Senate meeting is in October, and I had it open on my calendar, and then I don't know what happened. It is going to be October 14th. Thank you. So the day after, we'll have a holiday this year on the 13th. So October 14th will be the next College Senate meeting. Looking forward to seeing everybody then. And thank you so much. I'll wait for Bob to give me a thumbs up before we open up For the Good of the Order.